Hello, welcome to Arsenal Studios. This is Learning English with Movies. In this video, we will talk about one of my favorite action adventures, The Mummy. If you're new here, the goal of this channel is to help intermediate English language students practice and improve their English skills by using movies as the main topic. If you like our content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. American filmmaker Stephen Sommers wrote and directed 1999's The Mummy, an action-adventure fantasy film. It's a remake of the 1932 film of the same name, and it stars Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, and Arnold Vosloo as the Mummy. Despite receiving mixed reviews from critics, The Mummy was a commercial hit, spawning two more sequels, The Mummy Returns in 2001 and The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor in 2008. A tomb is a large vault, typically an underground one, for burying the dead. Director Stephen Sommers is best known for his big-budget action films like Van Helsing and G.I. Joe: Rise of the Cobra. The film's development spanned years, with many writers and filmmakers attached. Spanned means that something extended across a period of time or a range of subjects. However, Stephen Sommers offered his idea of a more adventurous and romantic take on the source material. The original 1932 film, The Mummy, was produced by Universal Studios and released as part of the Universal Classic Monsters series. In the film, Boris Karloff plays Imhotep, an ancient Egyptian who was assassinated for attempting to resurrect his deceased lover, Aksunamun. Deceased means someone who has recently died. The film was a success, spawning multiple sequels, spin-offs, and remakes. Sommers did not want to replicate the original film. Instead, he wanted a faster, meaner, and scarier monster because of the shambling, bandaged mummy of the old films had become something of a cliché. Shambling means walking slowly and awkwardly without lifting your feet correctly. For the remake, actor Brendan Fraser was cast as Rick O'Connell, the main protagonist in the Mummy trilogy. Fraser began his career in successful comedies such as Encino Man, George of the Jungle, Dudley Do-Right, and Bedazzled, as well as leading roles in fantasy films such as Journey to the Center of the Earth and Inkheart. He also acted in critically acclaimed dramas such as School Ties, With Honors, Gods and Monsters, and The Whale. 1999's The Mummy is a thrilling, suspenseful epic adventure about a treasure hunting expedition in the Sahara Desert in 1925. When hunters stumbled upon an ancient tomb, they accidentally unleashed a 3,000-year-old terror, represented the vengeful reincarnation of an Egyptian priest cursed to an eternity as one of the living dead. In the sequel, 2001's The Mummy Returns, Imhotep, the evil mummy, returns to wreak havoc in the never-ending quest for power and immortality. To wreak havoc means to cause great damage. To make matters worse, another ancient evil, even more terrifying than Imhotep, has been awakened. Only the valiant Rick O'Connell and his daring Egyptologist wife stand in the way as they go on a desperate expedition to save the planet. Daring means the quality of being brave and willing to take risks. Wrestler turned actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made his acting debut in the film as the Scorpion King. His role was further explored in his own Mummy spin-off, 2002's The Scorpion King. The third film in the Mummy franchise is 2008's The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. In the film, Chinese ferocious Dragon Emperor, played by martial arts legend Jet Li, and his enormous army have been buried in clay for millennia, cursed by a crafty sorceress. Crafty means clever at achieving one's aims by indirect or deceitful methods. When teenage archaeologist Alex O'Connell, son of Rick O'Connell, is duped into resurrecting the Emperor, he and his famous parents must find a method to return the monster to the grave before he awakens his massive army and takes over the world. Duped means easily deceived or cheated. Unlike the first two Mummy films, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was directed by Rob Cohen, the director of The Fast and the Furious and XXX. Actress Rachel Weisz did not return for the sequel, so the role of Evelyn, Rick's wife, archaeologist, and fellow adventurer, was played by Maria Bello. A planned fourth film in the franchise was in development, with most of the original cast returning. However, Universal decided to cancel the project and focus on a modern reboot. 2017's The Mummy is a supernatural action-adventure directed by Alex Kurtzman and written by David Koepp and Christopher McQuarrie. Alex Kurtzman is best known for co-writing the scripts for Transformers, Star Trek, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The film stars Tom Cruise as U.S. Army Sergeant Nick Morton, a soldier of fortune who unearths an ancient tomb of the imprisoned Egyptian princess, played by Sofia Boutella. A soldier of fortune is someone who will fight as a soldier for any country or person in return for payment. Nick Morton is a mercenary who raids ancient ruins in search of timeless treasures and sells them to the highest bidder. To raid means to quickly and illicitly take something from a place. When Nick and his partner are attacked in the Middle East, they accidentally unearth Amanet, a betrayed Egyptian princess who has been entombed for thousands of years under the desert. Morton must now stop the reborn creature as she goes on a frantic rampage through the streets of London, with her powers continually growing. Frantic means conducted in a hurried, excited, or chaotic way, typically because of the need to act quickly. The film's disappointing box office performance led to the cancellation of the Dark Universe franchise, an attempt to establish a cinematic universe based on the classic Universal monsters. Do you know who was responsible for the mummy's curse? Do you know who was the man who betrayed Imhotep? How sure are you about that? If you want to talk about these past events and you want to show how sure you are about what happened, you need to use modal verbs. Before we continue, I would like to invite you to check out my online course at THINKIFIC. The Learning English with Movies course was designed for intermediate English language students who love movies and filmmaking. You can practice your English reading and listening skills, learn new key vocabulary and grammar, and confirm your comprehension with fun quizzes. The Learning English with Movies Kindle ebook is also available from Amazon. For more information as well as fun, useful tips and recommendations, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Now let's get back to the video. Modals to talk about deductions about the past. We can use modal verbs to deduce if something is true based on the information we have. The modal verb we select demonstrates how certain we are about the possibility. We use must have plus past participle when we feel sure about what happened. Example, who told Evelyn about the Book of the Dead? It must have been someone at the museum. We can use might have and may have plus past participle when we think it's possible that something happened. Example, I think Imhotep might have killed the man in the temple. O'Connell thinks they might have stolen the book. We can use can't have and couldn't have plus past participle when we think it's not possible that something happened. Example, the mummy couldn't have returned. We already killed him. Thanks for watching. Have you seen the Mummy movies? What do you think about the remake with Tom Cruise? Do you think Brendan Fraser would ever return to the Mummy franchise? Write down your thoughts in the comments below.